right. We're getting a few comments lately about my attitude. I don't care. I don't care because I'm a customer, right? I will always come at it from that point of view. I'm not here to kiss ass, right? I'm here to kick ass on the behalf of you and everyone else that has problems with stuff. If people like stuff, that's great. It shouldn't matter what I think. Anyway, I see this a lot. I've seen this a lot coming from the pro players. Yeah, the 2%ers out there that nobody gives a crap about, right? Because most of us are not going to end up in like competitive fighting areas. And we just want a really good Mortal Kombat game because a lot of us too also used to play Mortal Kombat games that came out before NRS was formed, right? So a lot of people do this comparison about, oh, this is just like MK9. That's like MK9. No, it's not, right? And I'm going to show you, okay? Just simply going into the fight section, this is what we have. Okay, we've got ladder, like standard ladder, right? We've got tag ladder. Then we have test your luck, right? Which is basically, you know, sort of like random combat, what they used to have where, you know, you have all these different modifiers. You can choose the amount of like slots you can have. It spins, and then as soon as it stops, you get all these different modifiers, and then off you go and you try and win. Right? Which is awesome. Completely random. You got test your might. Okay? That you can level up through as well. You got test your sight. And you've also got test your strike. Okay? Where you got to get very precise rather than trying to like build the bar up and then, you know, smash things. Right? Now, I took issue with, I think, some of these originally back in the day because I don't think you can choose your own character. I think it's set. And I didn't like that, you know. Let me just double check. Let me just double check. Yes, it is. It is stuck at whatever character you're dealt with, right? And I kind of wish that we had the ability to have, you know, a separate character. So that's all the gameplay modes, just for offline, bro. Just for offline, right? We've got 2 standard ladders. And then you got test your luck, just to show you guys quickly what test your luck is about, because I know I explained it right, but I want to show it to you how it looks, because it's very cool, right? And of course, all of these modes, I'd have to check. I don't think test your might and that is 2-player. I don't think it is anyway, right? So then you got all of these modifiers, which somewhere in the options you can actually edit it. So now I'm getting like, so this is the opponent I'm going to fight. There's no health meter displayed. Blocking's completely disabled. And then we got enhanced specials disabled as well. Right, so it's pretty much almost old school. Okay, which is fine. Right, that's what it is. Which is awesome. And you can change the amount. I can't remember where you do it though. There's somewhere that you change the amount, right? Then you go up the top and you go 2-player. Okay, so you got versus mode, you got team ladder, where you can team up with a friend and fight together. Together. Up the ladder, together, multiplayer. How awesome is that? If you go into versus mode, so you're fighting against each other, we got 1v1, 2v2, and then test your luck. So test your luck, obviously 2-player, so you're obviously the other ones we can't, right? You can even go online together. Right? That's nuts. And then of course, if you got more people, like say more controllers active, you've got 3 players and then 4 players. It's mentioning 3 players because it's registering the keyboard as well, right? That's just in the fighting side of it, dude. That's just the fighting side of it, right? Then you got story mode, which obviously is a story mode. It's probably one of the best story modes. I did love MK1 story mode, right? For the people who think I'm overly negative, I did love MK1 story mode, right? And then you got the challenge tower, right? The challenge tower was this brand new thing, right? Where you could, it was 300 levels. 300 levels of all of these. So take everything that was in Invasions and shove it in one tower. That's it, man. We got more mini games. We got more challenges because some of them actually had 2 characters on screen from memory to fight against you. Like, it was just nuts, dude. The challenge tower was psychotic and they never did it again. Right? Then you got training mode, you got tutorial, fatality tutorial, practice, and tag team practice as well, which is great. You've obviously got online mode. I did cover the online modes going between MK9, 10, 11, and MK1. MK1 being the most just like barely there content, right? All the content that we have here just for MK9. I often wonder why they delisted MK9. I think the general answer is Freddy, but they could have patched Freddy out. They could have taken Freddy out. Nobody would care. I wouldn't have cared. Keep it online. And you can still play online, actually. Right? Right now, there's 3 people online in the Chaos Realm forum. Room. Right? I could jump on. Look at some of these win numbers, dude. 9,660, dude! Van Damme's in the house, man. Van Damme, here you go, man. Right? And King of the Hill was great because if you are watching the match, you have your own little mini character down the bottom, which was really cool. And I think some of those might have been unlocked in the crypt. Now we had the crypt, right? This is just the features, dude. I haven't even gotten into the gameplay yet. Right, so you got your standard crypt, right? You could check out the map to see how big it is. You had all different sections, right? Which was pretty cool. So you could like move around them, which when you think about it, the graphics actually, these are really, really cool, right? It's awesome. And you're obviously heading up to the necropolis. And then of course you can go in and see stuff in the necropolis, like all the characters that you've had available and or unlocked. Right, you can also check out their alternate, usually not for them, but you can for, you can usually check out their alternate outfits as well, and you can also see the battle damage that would incur on each character as you fight, because it wasn't just like splashes of blood that they do now, right? Another thing that they changed, right, you can actually see all the battle damage. Actual damage to the character has not come back since. Right? You don't tell me they can't code it, man. Don't give me that. I don't want to hear that crap, right? And then if we're simply just going into the gameplay itself, right? Just into the gameplay, we've got this massive classic roster. It was like Mortal Kombat Trilogy's roster and then some, right? We got a 3D era character coming in with Kenshi. We got a 3D era character coming in with Quan Chi. We got a brand new character coming in with Scarlet, right? We got a different Sub-Zero. We actually ended up with 2 subbies in this game, which was pretty cool. This is an incredible roster. Incredible roster. A bigger launch roster than what we got with MK1 from memory. I think I did some graphics up, right? And the gameplay compared to MK1 is so much smoother. I've done breakdowns of this before where the follow through with moves feels really good. I'm still trying to figure out how this is close to MK9. Are you talking speed with MK1? Maybe, sure, but that's a stretch. Obviously the graphics have improved since then, but on PC especially, this game has aged really well. It does still look pretty good. It is still absolutely playable. 100%, right? 100% still playable. So I'm very sort of like, I'm very curious about Cage, right? I'm very curious about how they think it's somehow like MK9. Now, they do say the thing about the dash blocking. Sure. Yeah, it's got dash blocking. But you know what? It actually feels smoother. And it actually feels more responsive. Look at that. I don't get that smoothness and the responsiveness in MK1. Because the whole engine feels janky. None of this gameplay looks janky. Right? Whoop. Should have uppercutted him. There we go. Is he going to make me lose? No, there we go. Right? The backgrounds all look amazing because they lean into all the classic backgrounds. We also got some different takes on some of them, as well as additional ones, which was pretty cool. Right? We also had the fact that we had no fatal blow tied into the health bar. We actually had our breakers, which were 2 bars. Right? So now I can do a break. It actually told me that. So if he starts doing a combo on me, I could do that if I wanted to, but I spent it on an enhanced move. Enhanced moves actually look better. They were actually enhanced. It actually felt like you were getting a whole other special move. So instead of 1 harpoon, you get 2 thrown out. We don't get that sort of level of detail anymore. And then, of course, the X-Ray, which is what it was called, was the move whereby if you had 3... when it fills up, you could actually do the X-Ray move for this game, right? Not to mention the fact that we had, at least 2 fatalities each, stage fatalities, babality, and we didn't get friendship, did we? No, so it was they only added in babalities back, but we didn't get friendship. Friendships came in. Were they an MK10? Friendships an MK10? I don't think they were, right? So, that's all the features. That's pretty much everything. All the features wise, like, that you have available. Everything. A game that came out in 2011. Now I'm going to load up Mortal Kombat 1. Now keep in mind, right, there was a little bit of grind in MK9. How you purchase stuff in the game was solely built around the idea of, you get this currency, different types of currency coin, and then you would, obviously earn that from fighting, and then you would take that and earn it, spend it in the crypt to unlock stuff. There was no mastery grind, there was no XP grind, it was just simply, you either play the story, you fight, you earn the currency, and then you obviously then know specifically where stuff is to unlock inside the crypt. Very straightforward path, very easy, and over time, they deviated from that to the point where I'm just loading up Mortal Kombat 1 for you guys right now, because you're going to see a massive difference between the quality. Now, yes, character models have improved, of course. Stage quality has improved, of course. But there's no stage fatalities. Is there? They gave us variations on stages. Sure, okay. And the stages look great. I've been saying it since the beginning. The stages are pretty much carrying this game. Right? 100% carrying this game. Because they just look amazing. The music in MK9, by the way, was awesome. In MK1, it's not bad, but there are some issues I've noticed. It sounds like they've actually imported certain tracks from MK11. There's this one particular track, I think it might be a menu music track, that is almost tone for tone from MK11. It's really jarring, right? Notice how everything loads up so fast and access so quick on MK9. I'm running an i9 13900K with 32GB of DDR5 RAM with a 4090 graphics card. And I'm still waiting for this game to load up. Right? Now, it probably loads faster, maybe on the consoles, because it's better optimized, because obviously PC is PC to a degree and whatever. Right? And the menus look great and stuff like that. And like I said, the stages look great. The characters look great. But they changed a lot over these last few games with massive influence from Injustice. And just feature for feature, I'm going to show you something. You got story mode. Granted, you can play any chapter. I very appreciate that. The towers are just your classic towers. So yes, you can choose between various difficulty, including endless and survivor. Great, that's wonderful. But there's no difference here between fighting like, how is it, 6, 8, and 10. You still can choose the difficulty for it, right? Whatever you want. All 5 difficulties available to it. But these towers do look very abstract against the background. They look like cut out cardboard. Just, there's no life to them. Even the MK10 towers looked way better than this. Right? MK10's like tone was amazing. And then of course you got the invasions mode, which is basically taking that 300 tower and splitting it into each node, into a node, each on all of these areas, right? The only time you actually get the story content is if you get to the last area. You have to go through here, 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 and then here. And it's a drag. All you do is fight, maybe do a survive, maybe a test your might, and that's it. There's no other game modes outside of that. You can't access test your might any other way. At all. There's no other way. There just isn't. Now for versus mode, this is wonderful. You're going to love all these modes. We got a whole one. Just standard 1v1. Except it's not really 1v1, is it? Because you've got the stupid cameo system in this game. Right? We literally had a fully functioning tag mode. I don't believe Ed Boon when he says that nobody played it. You're talking about a game that came out in 2011. When online was still, to a degree, in its infancy. To a degree, with tracking stats and everything like that. People loved tag mode. Absolutely loved it. Right? This is the only versus mode we get. Now granted, this is an amazing roster. It truly is. It's an amazing roster. I am excited to see what other characters that come out. Don't care for Garrus, I never did. But otherwise, everyone else here, perfect. Like, absolutely love their inclusion. You know, obviously they've changed some things with certain characters because they're trying to like reinvent certain stuff, but you know, it is what it is, right? Every single MK game has made changes, so you know, I can't fully crack down on that. When we go online, like tournament mode, right, is only for offline play. Fight a human locally with tournament mode settings. Whatever the hell that means, right? Is that simply just best of 3? Is that all it is? Really? Is that all it is? Because it doesn't sound very exciting. Because if you don't have people to play with, unless you do remote play on Steam, then it's a dead game mode. Now, if we go online, oh, we get slightly more. We got a warrior shrine, which we can't access. By the way, as per my previous video, every single combat league, all of this, right? The combat league should be completely scrubbed. Give everyone rewards, right? Because this, as per the video that I showcased from that dude that discovered that massive coding flaw, people are winning and losing unfairly because of NetherRealm's coding. So you got the Combat League, and then that's just a ball. You're literally going up against standard people, even on the low levels, 40, 45% combos. Straight out of the gate. If we go casual versus mode, that's it. Just casual versus mode. That's it. Right? Now, granted, in MK9, 10, and 11, we could not only create our rooms, but also just, you know, we could either go into the rooms or we could just sit there and click on casual versus or ranked versus. That's all gone, right? All we get is the Combat League, we get casual versus, we get King of the Hill, which again looks no different, right? You're just searching for someone, and then if you win, then you stay there and they might pull in other characters, but it's nothing like the quality of the theater experience that we got in MK9. And then lo and behold, we got versus private, King of the Hill private, right? And then practice. There's no room option. Why is practice grayed out? Practice is down here. Why is it grayed out there? It's weird. Now, granted too, They introduced the ability to customize your character with MK11. It's been downgraded back, which unnecessarily I don't have a problem with, personally. That doesn't bother me, really, right? I do like the idea of them focusing on a central piece for each character and then just simply having outfits. But they called it palettes, right? So in here, you've got your different outfits, and then each outfit has its own different color palette, which is far better system than what they had in MK11. So I don't mind that. I'm not against that. You got your different taunts that you can have. You got your different finishes as well as fatalities. So all of this stuff isn't necessarily a bad thing. But I'm still trying to find the correlation between MK9 and this game. Is it because the roster is so good that it reminds people of MK9? This is the parasite that is eating away at the core of this game. The cameo system is a joke. None of these characters should be in the bitch bench. They should have been main characters. This game should have been 100% an Armageddon 2.0, and for whatever weird, idiotic reason, they decided to make this cameo tag system that was in MK11 for some of the towers, right? It's just weird. Now, you're going down to extras, but unlike MK9's extras, you go, hang on a sec, what's the shrine? Oh, that's right. That's currency that you get that you can come in and then dump in there and hopefully get some rewards. Rewards like concept art that nobody gives a crap about, or environment art that nobody gives a crap about, or music that nobody gives a crap about. The only thing that matters to me, right, is I like getting the character endings, which I'm slowly working through, right? Slowly working through, but I've 72% of that part. And then, again, unlike MK9, they have to put in their little shop, right? Which doesn't work because it doesn't refresh after 24 hours, right? Because this is what happens when corporations become greedy, right? This crap right here has been the same since like the early access. None of this is rotated. It's all the same crap. All of it is, right? None of it's changed. It's funny how they got their online store working though, huh? Like everything else is falling apart, but as long as their online store is good to go, bro, it's all fine, right? Now, also you have your account level, which builds up no matter what you play, right? Which unlocks stuff. I unlocked all the cameos by playing online, right? Because I was getting up experience from that. You have daily and weekly quests that you can do to earn coin, but this stuff, see all this crap here? You don't need to worry about it. You can literally grind those 2 spots in invasions and make more seasonal currency and more of the actual like coins, right? The seasonal credits and the gold coins, you can make all of that just by grinding those 2 modes in invasions. You don't even need to do this shit. This shit right here is useless, right? Now you have masteries. The mastery system, what it is level 35 for main character, level 15 for a cameo. And what it is as you level up the character, you actually unlock different color palettes, headpiece, or a gear piece, and or different outfits, you know, backgrounds, that sort of stuff, brutalities, taunts, that sort of thing, right? The problem is though, is that the grind is ridiculous. This is why people are grinding that stuff. This is why they're grinding it. Because it is so slow. Now, I've said this before, right? I've said this before. I'm perfectly okay with the idea of having that sort of system in the game. But it's really slow. And the reason why people are having a massive problem with it is because there is nothing else to do in the game. There is nothing else that is fun to do in the game. All that's left once you finish the story and you knock out invasions, I think my son knocked it out in 16 hours, right? And that's not because it's exciting or great. It's just a trudge, boring thing, right? It's not exciting. There's no reason to go back to it except for grinding, right? This stuff, I've only done 2 masteries. I've done Reiko and I've done Scorpion. I'm working on Natara, right? I've done Serena and I've done Serena, Frost, Scorpion, and I think I'm just about to get Frost up there as well, right? Because if you think you master 5 cameo fighters, that's a, what do you call it? That's a an achievement. It's not an achievement. Sitting there and grinding mindlessly away, by the way, is not an achievement. The XP gain for your character masteries is ridiculously small. I still want to know, can somebody explain to me how this game is somehow just as good, if not could be better than MK9? I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. Because while the character roster is really solid, and I am very happy with the character roster. Apart from Garrus, because I don't like Garrus. I never did. They're just obsessed with Garrus. Alright? Same with the combat kids. Those leaks better not be true. I really hope that they lean more and more into bringing a lot of 3D era characters back. You know, some of these reimaginings, to me, are pretty okay. Like, I'm not too upset with it, right? Except certain ones. So I do like that. But again, you know, you choose a tower, your character doesn't show up, right? And not only that, in MK9, you could press start on your character and choose your costume. You could choose your costume, right? So yeah, there was no customization, but with my modded version, I got a lot of costumes for every character in MK9. It feels like a beast of a game. I've got some extra additional characters that just even round it out even more. It's perfect. My MK9 modded version, which I've got to do, I've got the thumbnail on my desktop. I've got to do the updated video. It is perfect Mortal Kombat for me. Right? Perfect. The only way you see your actual characters walking in, apart from like, because it doesn't happen in Combat League. It does in local online, right? But if you go versus local, that's the only time that it will do it. It's just a joke, man. Right? Like, who the hell approved this game to come out in this state? This is ridiculous. Like, absolutely ridiculous. And the one thing that really bugs me about the whole walking in thing is that it's stupid. It is stupid, right? Because they should have walked from front to back like they did in MK10. Or at the very least, just start with this screen here. Okay? Because if you choose Shao Kahn, right? So I'm going to choose, General Shao, right? And then I'm going to choose, say, Smoke. Okay? We'll choose our stupid cameos and the stage. Right? And of course the stages. There's a lot of great stages. Every single stage is pretty awesome, actually. Even the snow one I've come to like. You've got different variations, but there's no stage fatalities. There's not a single stage fatality in this game. Oh, they can patch that stuff in. I do love the defense network for NRS people. Those fan clowns are hilarious. Oh, they'll fix it, bro. They'll patch it, bro. They'll bring in more content, bro. Dude, I paid for 4 copies of this game. Right? Don't tell me that I'm not allowed to speak my mind on this stuff. Right? I'm a customer, not some NRS fanboy hoping I'll get in the door to have my booty licked. Now, if I go back to character select, then I will see the characters that I have just chosen separately now walk in. But we don't get that reanimation part like we did in MK10, like we did in MK11, when you chose a character and they were already there and then they'd start moving. This is ridiculous. The only way to see this is if you've already come back to the screen. They either should have just started here, right? And they just change, or have them walk in this way. And they could easily do it because we've seen the camera mods and that you can rotate around and actually watch them walking towards you. It is scary how, while on the surface it looks like, you know, the story's great, the aesthetic's great, the character designs, for me personally, I do actually like them. The stages are amazing, the music's really good. But once you get past the honeymoon period, it's barely got 2 brain cells. And compared to MK9, anyone that says that, you just need some, you need some outside time. You know what I'm saying? You need some outside time. Because I tell you what, MK9 has more out-of-the-box content for a game that's 13 years old than this game has right now. Anyway, guys, catch you next time.